Okay, hello. So we have a few minutes as the kids are outside in very windy weather playing, and hopefully we'll have a few minutes. I just had a discussion with my partner about like we're having these milestones with the kids. Like we get more and more opportunities to like have time kind of without the kids, like they're outside playing now. And then the question is, what do you do? Do you take that opportunity to like clean and like do stuff in the apartment, or do you just do something for yourself? And as you might guess, I think we should do something for ourselves. But there's still stuff that needs to be done. But we kind of have this rule where anything we need to do in the house, we should do when the kids are here, because they have this tendency to like fiddle around with their own stuff if we are fiddling around with our own stuff. The trick is that it has to be like household stuff. While doing a stream, that's something I do only for myself. And that's much harder to do when the kids are around. So, anyways, I finally figured out what I wanted to do with this thing. Add branch change status. So I have this PR, and we actually did a stream on this. I did it with Danilo and Alex as part of. Oh yeah, let's update. As part of the latest launches of Code Sandbox, the CDE launch, and it made me reflect on how we should solve this, because we're doing something really weird, which seemed like a good idea at the time, but actually wasn't a good idea at all. So let's see here. Yeah, I was just updating to the latest micro VM version, which requires like a rerun of the setup. There we go. And then we're also going to start the picture client dev process, because what we're going to do is deprecate something, which was a bad decision by me. We have this tool called async value store, and we shouldn't use this. And the point is that the async value store has an initial value, like a default value, while it's waiting for its initial async value. And that works well if you have like a list, because the list is just empty while you're waiting for the actual list. But we also use it for things like the Git status, but you don't have any initial Git status. You have to get it from the VM. And the picture client where this thing is doesn't know that much about like the branch you're on. That's actually coming from the API. While this is more like just connecting to the development environment. So the editor is much better at defining an initial state for Git based on the data coming from the API than this thing. So we're going to deprecate this and remove it from the Git status to properly implement something. This was a bad decision. Some values cannot have a reliable initial value like Git status. It needs to come from the VM. We'll refactor. We should get rid of this. If a default value is required, the editor itself is much better at setting this value. Okay, so we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna get to the interface for the iGit client, and then we have get status, which will now be a promise of Git status. And again, like get remotes, like it doesn't make any sense to do that with a default value. Anyways, and this is all tied to how complicated it was to consume like these asynchronous values in React, because they're promises, right? And you can consume promises in React. So at least like they're leaning towards it, but that's a whole other thing. So what we did is that, no, let's make it simpler. Let's make it easier to consume by React by having this default value. And then we got into issues, of course. Let's see. And let's go to clients, git client, get status. Yeah, so first of all, this thing, we shouldn't even have that. And we should not create this thing. We should just this on status updated emitter. Is that what it's called? No. Status updated emitter. Fire git status. So yeah, we'll just fire the status change and then, oh yeah, fuck. Create target diff. Oh my god. What the hell is this? Oh, I didn't know we had this. So we have this target diff. And this is the callback for getting the target diff status. And we need get status init promise, then status target branch. I think we should just change this. So we are going to pass we're going to pass the branch and the head, and then we're what is this thing? Okay, I think are we even using this target diff? It's private. Get target diff status. I wonder if we actually use this. Oh, I thought it was a simple fix, but of course it's not. And of course we're using it. Use target diff items. What's using this? Okay. Oh, but I think we can actually, yeah, we can fix this. We can make the same fix here. So we're going to remove this as well. The only thing is we have to take into account this why is it keep the current head and hash reference for future comparison diff status is refreshed only? Yeah, look at that. Git status. Target diff refresh. Oh, this is complicated stuff. Oh my god. I thought this would be simple. So when the git status updates and we change the head, we go and do a new target diff. Do we have like an on target diff changed? On target diff update. Okay, so what we can do, we can still have this. Git status on change. Value? Oh yeah, that's that thing. Yeah, you see this? We have this like default stuff. Okay, let's remove this. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and then we're gonna remove this and then we're gonna yeah, I think we can simplify this. So in here, in the constructor, we are going to say this on status updated. Yeah, that's the thing, like why value? So we're gonna remove that. If value.head is not equal to this dot current hash head, we're going to say this current head hash equals value.head. Let's just call this status instead of value. Okay, but this makes sense. Let's put this higher up so it's easier to understand that we're doing this. We're also going to remove this target diff. Yeah, so we're basically going to do a request to... I find this a bit interesting though. I'm not sure if we actually... The thing is that now we're always making this request regardless if we care about it or not. But that's the way it's always worked, so I guess that's fine. So that means whenever we make a commit, it changes the head and we go and grab the new diff. Yeah, and we should probably do that. So, but what we're going to do instead is get target diff status, and then this is going to be... This is just going to be this. Oh, we need target branch. Oh my god. Like the weather is insane. Maybe I think they might... Yeah, sending some messages. Let's see. Do I have any way to like send a message? Yeah, whatever. We don't have any. Yeah, if anyone's let's see. Yeah, I'm just saying my partner is worried that the weather is too rough for a 3-year-old, but I'm telling her as long as he's not blowing away and having fun, it should be fine. But we cannot really... We cannot really... Is this actually being used? Use target diff item. It is being used, but yeah, it's part of comments and PR changes. It's just that we don't really have the target without asking for the status. So maybe we should have an internal state of the status. Yeah, I think we need that because of this target diff thing. Or does it mean that... No, I think we should just not do this. I think we should go and grab the next diff status in this hook. So what we'll do here is that we'll pass in the current git status. And then whenever the head changes, we go and grab a new diff status result. We don't automatically do this internally. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. So this is going to be... Did I remove it? Yeah. And then we need an actual target branch here. Well, I guess base is a string. This would be base. And then this cannot be undefined. And then we have to change the... like that. Wait, isn't this... What's it complaining about? Oh, is it base string? Oh, base branch. I think we're gonna call it that because it's a branch, just to be explicit about that. Base branch. Cool, it's happy. Did I remove the request for the git status? Probably did. There it is. Okay, so this is fine. We can remove this. And then git status is return this. And it's a promise of the git status. Okay, that's happy. And now we're not going to do this here. We're going to remove this. And this is rather going to be the responsibility of this hook that I, of course, use target diff items. So what we have to do here, well, first let's fix the typing so that we can build this thing. Yeah, because the browser implementation is now wrong. Blah, blah, blah. This is just fake data. And then the same for promise, blah, blah, blah. Isn't this just a list? No. What is this? Okay, files. Interesting. Okay. Let's get rid of that. So what we can do here, we can make this a diff result. So we can do this here as well. We can say that this is going to be the state of that thing, and then we're going to say the initial one is false. We don't have anything. And then we're going to use an effect. And the funny thing here, we don't really have an on-target diff updated anymore. Because now we're now we're explicitly asking for it from the editor. Yeah, I don't think we should have that. So we need to remove that as well. On target diff updated, get rid of that. That shouldn't have been in use anyways. Exactly, no errors. And then the same for the browser. Doesn't need target diff emitter. Cool. Let's close down some stuff here. Let's work on these hooks, close others. And what we need to do here is we have this effect, but we're not going to use, well, we're going to use picture, but we're also going to use git, use editor context. So this is like coming from Impact actually. And what we can do here, we can say git status. Oh, wait, did some, oh, of course, sorry. We need to go here first. So now we have our git status. This shouldn't be, we are going to do we have protocol here? Git status. So we are going to generate the initial git status here, and then we're actually going to go and grab it immediately and update it. The thing is, we don't want to block the editor during getting the initial git status, and it can take a bit of time because we're also checking if you're ahead or behind remote and your target when we call get status. And that takes a long time, so we cannot, like, it would take maybe a second, an additional second or two to get into the editor if we made it blocking. So we need to either make the git status possibly undefined, or we give it like a good default. And a good default is based on the API data, as I mentioned previously. But we still want to immediately go and grab the git status. So basically the only thing we really need to do is to say picture, yeah, sorry, and what I forgot to do again. Oh, I can do it here. So in the git client, get status. Well, No, we're gonna set it. So we're getting the git status, and then we are gonna say status value equals initial git status. I think this will be fine. Then the question is, like, this could actually fail. We immediately go and grab the current status, which can take a bit of time due to checking remote and target. So it could argue here that we should handle if this fails for some reason, but then something's really, really wrong. Yeah, let's try this first. We give an expected initial git status to avoid blocking the editor. So what does it need to be? It needs to be, oh my god. So use git is also available on sandboxes, of course. But I guess this is fine. Change files is nothing. Commits is nothing. We'll get that on the first. There's no conflicts. There's no deleted files. We're not merging. There's no local changes. Remote, target, and head. Yeah, we don't need head. So remote is going to be, well, it's kind of cool how, yeah, that wasn't quite correct. So this is also going to be the branch. We expect your remote to be the branch, and then head is null, safe is true. Safe means is it safe to pull? Like, do you expect any conflicts or whatever? But this is going to not be, this is going to be edited target branch name. Kind of weird, we call it target branch name. Anyways, yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's just keep it like this. And then we set that initial status. Like, I guess there's some chance. The one thing I worry about is that there is a chance you get this response. And then for some reason, you are getting the updated status, which does not include the correct remote and target information. So this one will, because we're calling this get status, which forces to check remote and target. But the general loop of checking the git status doesn't require that. There are two different intervals going. It's like the general git status, and then it's like the remote and target state. So what I think we should do here is that we need to wait. We immediately go and grab, which can take a bit of energy to check in remote now. We do not set this value here, but rather depend on general status updates, as there is a chance the status update does not have the remote target information yet. We should probably, if I knew about this, like, there's been so many iterations there, but it's very different. Like in terms of Git status, we have like this big object representing the Git status, but the remote and the target, that part of the Git status should really be separated out, because it's such a huge difference in how much time it takes to get the status. So that's something we could do later, but at least for now we just want this to work. Okay, cool. So now we're in this hook. We should be able to say Git status. What was it? So whenever the head changes, we want to go and grab. We basically just want to go and grab picture, clients, Git, get target diff status. And what I think we should do is not do it here. We should just remove this. And we're going to put this into picture instead, because it does it better. And it's part of the Git status, and we already have it here, do we? No, maybe not. So let's add it. Target diff status signal. It's funny how it guesses. Was it more? Huh. Oh. Current result, was it that? Git diff status. Okay. So target diff status, and so we already listened to updated status here. So what we need to do, yeah, this has received initial status. We don't need this. This is something I tried that we don't need. Has received initial status. Let's remove this. And what we're going to do is target diff status. Immediately when we receive the new status, we're going to check if updated status.head is not equal to status.value.head. Then we're going to go and grab it. Oh my god. And we have to give it the branch, which is updated status targets branch. Was there more? Oh. Well. Okay, I guess we have to check. And then we get the updated status, status update, and then we can just set that state. So that was target diff status. Cool, this should actually be it. Okay, so the kids are in. I should probably stop. I guess we have some conflicts here now. Yeah, I'm gonna play around with this more later, maybe. I'm also thinking about like this Git context is quite long now. Like there are hundreds of lines of code, but it's like there's more of a procedural mindset than like an object-oriented one. But there are certainly ways to make this a bit cleaner, because some of it is like very much related to the status. I wonder how all of this is actually connected. Yeah, I'm going to try to clean this up, like separate it a little bit. So it still exposes exactly the same stuff. It's just that we split some of these signals into their own functions in terms of responsibility. Okay, but I have to go. And yeah, we have some type issues here, but that's, yeah, I like where this is going. And all of this is really just to be able to know if a user is changing the branch in their terminal. And so it differs from what the VM is assigned to. And we couldn't do that reliably because we had this fake status that didn't make any sense. So I couldn't make like a proper check because the target would always be main, I think. Or was it null? Maybe it was null. Oh, so no, it doesn't matter what the target is. Sorry, I was confused with the diff status. So the remote was always set to main. Because Picture Client doesn't know about what branch name you're on. It only knows about the ID of the VM. So it would rely on Git status, but that would be blocking and so on and so on and so on. Okay, that's enough for now. Thanks for watching if you watch it. Bye for now.